On this night, one of the inhabitants of Collinwood has seen the most incredible sight of his life. Roger Collins has looked into a room in the deserted East Wing and seen for himself what Barnabas has told him about. A separate existence in a separate time band. In it, the inhabitants of the great house seem to be carrying on lives completely different and apart from those in this existence. He saw Elizabeth and Bruno, the Bruno who in this existence died only a few hours before. And in this room, on this night, Roger has seen someone who shocked him even more.
I just couldn't believe it. You don't know what it's like suddenly seeing yourself walk into a room.
Oh, I can't imagine.
I hope they're still there. Listen. It's too much. It's really too much. Oh, I needed that laugh. It'll help me get through the day.
I don't find it the least bit amusing, Roger.
Oh, but it is. The idea of Quentin and his new bride being greeted by Bruno. Perhaps he will even entertain her when Quentin is busy.
I don't find that amusing either.
But Bruno is a brilliant pianist. Otherwise, Angelique wouldn't have encouraged him. Her taste in music, as in everything else, was exquisite. Thanks to me.
You won't stop deluding yourself, will you?
Oh, it's no delusion. Angelique and I shared something very special together. Our minds met and changed each other. Yes, Angelique was my very own creation. That's why I understand her sending for Bruno.
Sending for Bruno? Angelique is dead. She can't send for anyone.
You wanted to speak to me, Cousin Elizabeth?
Yes. Bruno is back, in case you haven't heard.
I've heard.
You manage the estate for Quentin. There must be some way of stopping Bruno from moving into the cottage.
Moving in? I presumed he was merely passing through.
No, he plans to stay. He says he belongs
He
here.
never belonged here. Doesn't now, especially not now.
Then you'll do something.
Well, of course I will.
Quickly. Quentin will be back with his bride soon.
You really make me laugh, talking so earnestly, trying to figure out a plan to protect Quentin and his new little bride from big, bad Bruno and all the others. And it's all so useless, don't you see? What you're doing is useless.
Roger, whatever you may have felt about Angelique, you must remember that Quentin is bringing Mrs. Collins back.
Bringing Mrs. Collins back. And don't you realize that Mrs. Collins never left? Not for a moment. And now, if you will excuse me. My God!
What happened?
I just had the most incredible experience of my life. Can you imagine what it's like, seeing a perfect stranger with your body and your face, and yet being so entirely different?
Well, in that other world, you live a different life.
The world of parallel time.
Elliot Stokes says that up until now, it was only theory.
Well, this room certainly proves that it isn't. I'm in it, Liz is in it, Chris, even Bruno. We're all in it.
No, Roger. Not quite all of us.
You've never seen yourself, have you?
No. Nor has anyone else seen me or mentioned me. But I know that Barnabas Collins, my ancestor, who who lived and died well over a century ago, was somehow involved in all this, but not the Barnabas that you know. He's not involved in this. It doesn't exist in this room, and whatever lies beyond it.
Oh, it's incredible, absolutely incredible. Barnabas, what's the matter? You seem so far away.
Yes, I suppose I was. I somehow feel drawn to this room as if they're waiting for me there.
And yet you can never get in, except when it's empty. You can't pass whatever that barrier is.
Barriers have a way of being broken. Don't they, Roger?
Now, Barnabas, whatever you're planning to do, be careful. Think carefully.
I will, Roger. Well, someone is waiting for me in this time band. I must go. Are you coming?
No, not just yet. Now all I can see is a dark, empty room. Yet somewhere, our other lives are continuing. Somewhere, Roger Collins loves and hates, and hopes for things I know nothing about.
Thank you, Julia.
Barnabas, there's something I think I should have told you.
What?
Is the last injection that I can give you.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, when we started the injections, I realized that your system had become immune to the formula that had been successful before, so I changed the formula. But now you've reached the saturation point. Using it beyond this, even just one more injection could destroy you.
Are you saying that I can't be cured?
We won't know that until dawn.
How long before dawn?
Oh, about 15 minutes, I would say. Barnabas, perhaps I was wrong to keep this from you.
No, Julia. You are right. A quarter of an hour is long enough to wait under the circumstances. If I had to wait any longer, I would have been even more desperate to...
Barnabas, what is it?
I don't know. But something's terribly wrong.
How do you feel now?
I can't describe it. I've never felt this way before, but I know I'm not cured. That I can tell you.
Barnabas, I'm sorry.
Well, there's no time for that now, Julia. Come help me downstairs.
Yes, of course.
Sabrina! You're free. You're all right.
I'm all right. Bruno's not. He's dead.
How did it happen? No. Never mind. Don't tell me. Now I know whose blood this is, don't I?
He would have tried to destroy you time and time again. He had to die.
But I didn't have to kill him.
If you hadn't, he probably would have killed me. After he was dead, the police came to search his house. They found me and Sky Rumson locked in the room he put me in.
What did you tell him you were doing there?
I said I didn't know. I said he'd asked me to come, and that when I got there, he just locked me up. I said he was mad. Oh, but Chris, now that you're back, now we have to start planning.
Planning? Oh, Sabrina. Planning, that's for people who have a future.
But we have a future, Chris. Bruno is gone. He can't harm us anymore.
And now the only thing we have to worry about is each other.
I've got to convince him. It's the only thing, the only way he can be safe. Mr. Collins.
It's Chris here.
Yes, he is. Why?
I'd like to talk to him.
Oh,
How is he feeling?
not very well. He had a bad night. I was here looking after him.
Yes, I imagine he did have a bad night. But I would still like to see him anyway.
What about?
Oh. Could we be alone?
You mind?
Well, you look much better this morning. How do you feel?
All right.
Well, I'm glad of that. I was feeling guilty because I couldn't get you medical help.
Oh.
I would have, but then all of a sudden you were gone from the room. It was incredible.
I don't understand, to tell you the truth, what happened. I don't remember leaving or getting here. I don't remember anything until I came to.
And you don't know how you got out?
Or even what happened. I presume Bruno must have drugged me in some way.
I see. I was hoping you could give me some reason why Carolyn was there.
I'm afraid I can't help you.
Well, certainly Bruno can't help anyone anymore. I suppose you weren't entirely displeased that he was killed, the way he treated you.
I'm never happy to hear about anyone being killed.
Well, it was a horrible thing what happened. He was killed by an animal, an unnatural animal.
Yes, I know. Sabrina told me that.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better this morning, and glad that you had a devoted nurse looking after you last night. I'll have to be going now.
Goodbye.
You know, I have a feeling I'm going to get an answer to this, perplexing as it is, even though Bruno is dead and gone.
That man knows something.
He knows strange things have happened, but he doesn't know your part in them. He can't.
Why not?
He wouldn't have walked out of this room. He would have told you what he knew. He would have made you leave Collinwood.
All right. He doesn't know, but he's going to find out. Or someone will. Someone who won't be as considerate as he is. Someone who's going to bring the police.
Chris, it doesn't have to be that way. Listen to me. There's a possibility of a different future.
What?
If you marry me.
Oh, Sabrina, we can't even think about that.
We can. Chris, most of the time we could live like any other couple. Any other couple in love.
And when the moon is full?
I've thought of that too. In the house we'd have a room where I could lock you. And I could look after you, and I could make sure that you don't harm yourself or anyone else. Oh, Chris, we'll keep looking for a cure. And we'll find it. Why are you laughing?
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Christopher Jennings at home in their vine-covered cell.
Stop it. Don't be cruel to me.
No! Sabrina, marriage, it's out of the question. Death would be too close to us constantly. We are not going to get married. That's final.
What happened to Barnabas just before dawn? Will he be all right when he rises? Will he even rise? Or have I destroyed him in some way? Barnabas, how do you feel now?
I've never felt the need for blood so much before. Julia, I'm afraid. I feel out of control. You've got to do something at once.
Oh, Barnabas, I will.
There's no time, I tell you. Never before have I felt such a creature of the night. I cannot help but destroy or be destroyed.
I must admit, I didn't believe Barnabas at first. But now, of course, I have proof. You can't imagine what it's like, seeing yourself in another time band.
What? What, Roger?
I said you can't... Julia, you're not the least bit interested. What's the matter?
Nothing. Nothing.
Something is. What are you thinking?
What are you doing here?
Liz.
I couldn't believe my eyes when I looked out the window. Lights in the East Wing. The empty East Wing. What are you doing here?
You were just looking around?
Well, there's nothing to see. Or is there?
What do you mean?
There must be something very special in the East Wing because suddenly everyone's so interested in it. And I would like to know what that something is.
Very well, Liz. I will tell you, but I warn you, you're going to be stunned, as I was.
I've stayed here long as I can. I must go out. For a while. Down to the docks. Anywhere. Sabrina. I can't let her in. If she doesn't see me, she'll go away.
Barnabas? Barnabas? Where are you? I could have sworn I saw him at the window. Barnabas? Barnabas? He must have gone upstairs. Barnabas? Barnabas? Oh, Barnabas, you startled me.
Sorry.
I want to talk to you about Chris. You're the only one I can talk to. The only one he will listen to. Barnabas, I want to marry him. Don't turn away, Barnabas. It's not as crazy as it sounds. I love Chris, the way he is. And no matter how he has to live, I want to live with him.
No matter what he is, no matter what I am, we must live with it. There's no choice anymore.
And if we're married, I can protect him. He will be safer with me, Barnabas. Please help me convince him that he'll be safer. Barnabas. Barnabas! Ah! Oh!
Sabrina, you had me worried.
I went for a walk.
Why?
I wanted to think.
Oh, what's the use of thinking about us?
I would... Oh...
Sabrina, what's the matter? Sabrina.